They say work smart, not harder. What they don't tell you is that there's no real game plan or formula that guarantees that you won't. Work harder, that is. At least not at first. Working smarter, I think, is a skill that is learned with practice and patience, and a good amount of failure. Do you want to know a secret? This week I tried to make 2 different videos for you, and I failed at both of them. On the surface, failure looks a lot like early rises, restless mornings, irritable outbursts, and depressed evenings. It usually involves some shouting, some tears. In some ways you can say that failure feels similar to rejection. Except you're the one dumping yourself, like a vindictive ex, over and over again. Some of my failure this past week came from plain old trial and error and learning the ropes of a new schedule that's quite go, go, go. At other points, my failure was based on a mild exhaustion. A nervous exhaustion, which is something I experience from time to time. But mostly, it came down to my relationship with perfectionism. My relationship with good old-fashioned bruised ego and a fear of failure. When I was 3 years old, I started taking ballet lessons, and about the 3rd or 4th lesson in, I fell off the balance beam in class in front of a room full of parents in pink tutus. I cried so much. I was so embarrassed. You know, I never went back. Even when I tried dance lessons again at the age of 15. I only lasted a few weeks. Would you know that the need to be perfect was still there? That pain of failure. If you coddle a bruised ego, it never learns. Many of us, I think, have a codependent relationship with the fear of failure. And fear of failure comes from a dependency on perfectionism. This idea of performing. Perfectionism is performative and it lacks substance. When your actions are pure and contain substance, they are fulfilling to you. Perfectionism isn't fulfilling. To be a perfectionist is not something to be proud of. Let me repeat that again. Perfectionism is not something to be proud of. The ability to bounce back from your failures, to bounce out of perfectionism though, now that's fulfilling. Perfectionism and the fear of failure are traits that a lot of us learn as kids because we're taught to seek the praise of our parents, our teachers, and our peers. Because as kids in school, in competition, we're taught to seek the approval of an awards system. An awards system that you give and give to, one that you look to earn praise, but may never give you enough back so that you feel satisfied by that praise. The need to seek this approval will create a bottomless pit in you if you're not learning to find self-worth too. There is such a thing as overperforming, and I think it's a damn shame we don't teach our kids otherwise. Ultimately, it's a lesson in being cautious with yourself, being kind to the kid in you, giving back to the kid in you, the kid who never learned the difference between self-worth and the need for approval. Perfectionism can and will spill over into every aspect of your life. The phrase "not good enough" will echo around the caverns of your brain until you're deaf from it. So what do I wish I'd been able to tell my younger self? The kid who was always looking to be perfect, looking for approval. Treat your failures as friends. Fail. Make mediocre stuff. You don't have to show it to the world for it to have meant something. Go on and fall off that balance beam, kiddo. Fall so hard that you forget what it means to have bruises, because it won't stop there. When you're 17 years old, you're gonna apply to your top 3 choices of university and get into none of them. What matters is you fell off the bike and landed where you needed to be instead. Because 10 years on, believe it or not, you're gonna be helping women find their voice and running your own festival in a foreign country, which will be a lesson in perfectionism in its own right. Don't worry. Perfectionism won't make you morally bankrupt, kid, but it can drain your bank account. Failure, on the other hand, is pretty noble because it teaches you the limits of give and take, and that moment where your bruises turn into humility. Of course, I pulled 3 cards this morning. Wouldn't be one of my videos without it. So this morning I pulled the 5 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the 6 of Cups. The Five of Pentacles represents insecurity, struggles, and hardship. You can tell literally because there are beggars standing outside a well-lit window in the snow. The High Priestess symbolizes intuition and using instinct, your inner voice. And the Six of Cups symbolizes looking back at your past, sometimes for comfort, sometimes to learn from your past mistakes. So when you read all of these three together, it's amazing.
And the message is insecurity, struggles, and hardship can be overcome by using your instincts and intuition. Looking back on your past mistakes with fresh eyes so that you can move through the challenge you're facing now without repeating your mistakes from the past and building on your future. Your past holds great lessons for you.
Amazing. Which is exactly what I did. Examined my past to move forward this week. I pulled these cards after I wrote my script, by the way. They're listening. Stay well, give back to yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Because I'm gonna go try again.